Hi, I'm Marie Eldridge. I'm an educator in the Handi Quilter studio. I am so excited today to show the line grid ruler. So there are so many different things you can do with this ruler, and it makes lines so easy. So let's go to the quilt. I already have my needle down, so I have already tied it off. To get this ruler around your hopping foot, it has a little gap here. Remember, I'm calling that a gap. That really helps me in learning how to use this ruler. So I'm just going to drop that over the hopping foot. All right, once I have that over, then I'm going to drop my needle, and then I'm going to bring in the ruler. So the ruler is lined up on this side on the line that I already stitched. And I love this corner. This is like a security blanket for me. So that's going to keep me honest on this end. And this side is the side I'm going to stitch on. So now that I have the ruler set up, I'm just going to go over. And you'll see I slow down as I get there. All right, now that I'm here, I'm going to stitch to the gap side, the side of the ruler that has a gap. That also makes the gap in my quilting. So if I just follow along there till I get there, then I can move my ruler over. And again, I'm going to stitch along this side and then come back. And then I will stitch to the gap. But in this situation, I'm done. You can see what we did here was I started out and I made really close together lines and then just changed the spacing. So down here, I'm like 1 stitch, 2 stitch, move the ruler over. Okay, and as I got up here, I changed what the gap was. I'm going to show you over here, I've got some, like a checkerboard situation. So I'm going to set it up so that I can put my ruler on again. So I'm going to get that, just a little locking stitch in there. Again, I'm going to bring my ruler in. This time we'll be going sideways again. So I'm going to put it in the corner. So let's do this one. This is my safety. This is the edge I'm going to stitch on, and I'm just going to fill in that little square. So I'll go in, down, and I can hit it right on that edge. Looks like I'm sewing over my thread there. One more. There we go. All right, and come down to like 2 stitches, go over until I hit the edge of my ruler, and that'll keep me honest. It'll keep it straight on that side. Down, and I'm following across. This is my last line of that square, and I like to double stitch it so it shows that it is a square. Now I need a gap, so I'm going to follow towards the side that has the gap. I'm going down. So that sets up the distance between the boxes for me. So I can go across there. Like I said, each box I like to do 2 stitches at the top. Just come down 2 stitches to set up my distance. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 there. And now I'm going to move my ruler so that I get the gap again. Then I know how big the gap is, and I'm going to cross twice. So there are lots of different grid lines on this ruler, so you know exactly. You can set it up, you can measure it, or you can use the gap depending where it fits. So let's just talk about piano keys. There's lots of different piano keys that you can do. So piano keys, you can do evenly spaced, you can use a big gap, you can do 3 close together, or you can change the distance in between. And I have another sampler that I'll show you lots of different little ideas for piano keys. The other is, here's a grid. This was doing 1. So up here I've done 2, so it looks like a checkerboard. And then you can use this to go around and just do some arrows. This is one of my favorite things to do. So let's just start out here. Okay, so I've done my tacking. I'm going to bring my ruler in, and I'm going to get my stitching side on this side and the gap away from me. So this is the side I'm going to stitch on. I'm just going to do just an arrow. You can use the ruler, and I like that I have the security of it keeps me in there. And then back to my start. All right, here's the fun part. We're just going to use this back to my security corner. Okay, so I'm just going to go across that line and down. I can use the ruler to guide me. Move the ruler over, make 2 stitches, move the ruler over. Go across 2, move the ruler over. So it's just helping to keep these lines straight. So I'm just coming down to the arrow, and once I hit the arrow, I'm doing 2 stitches. When I go back until I hit that security spot on my ruler. So back to there, and then I can follow the top of the ruler, follow the top here and go across. Follow the arrow. I'm using the top of the ruler, I'm using this side of the ruler. So this time I'll go all the way across. I can use it to just make another arrow. And then I'll fill this side in again. So I'll just do this quickly so you can kind of see how fast you can go across. Okay, I got to get back to my security corner. There we go. You just move the ruler each time after you've set up that gap. And then if you can see how cute they look, you can even do them on a curve. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is a grid. So you can use this to set up your grid. So I'm just going to advance my fabric just a little bit so we have a room down here. Cut my threads. I hope you can see all the different things that you can do. I love lines on a quilt, and lines and circles together are awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is start in the corner. Then I'm just going to use the ruler to come up just a little ways. And then we'll put this on, slide it over the hopping foot. I'm going to put the gap side away from me. Now on this ruler I have 45 degree, I have a 60 degree, and I'm just going to line that up with the side of my box so I have the angle set up, and then I have my ruler set. So I'll stitch across on this side, and then I'm just going to follow along the bottom until I hit my ruler. So I've set my gap. Okay, now I'm going to move my ruler because I'm going to stitch on this side, use this to measure the gap. Okay, I'm going back across. Now I'm going to go up till I get to my ruler. So now I've set my gap. I'm on the gap side, so I need to be on the stitching side. And I also have grid lines here that I can set up right on the stitch line, and I still have these angle lines that I can make sure I'm exactly right. So down to the bottom line of my box, stitch over until I hit the gap side, straighten it up, line up on this side, follow my box, and I just keep following my box until I hit the gap side. Once I get there, I move over to the stitch side, down to the bottom, and I follow. Okay, so when I get to this corner, I'm going to shift my ruler so that I can have space to move to that gap side. So I'm going to go around the corner till I hit that gap. Then I'm going to move the ruler over again, line up, make sure it's straight, use it to do the stitch side, go across till I hit the gap side. Whoops, I forgot to move my ruler. All right, there's your gap side. Now I can move my ruler. All right, follow till I hit the ruler again. Move my ruler over, and I'm back. All right, so we would just go back the other direction to make this into a square. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to come down to the first one, and then I'm going to put the gap side away from me because I'm going to always stitch on this side, and I'm going to move away towards the gap. So once it's there, okay, we're going to stitch across that side, follow till we hit the gap. Whoops. It's much better if you move the ruler. Don't get in a hurry. All right, I think you're getting the idea. Now I'm going to go over till I get to the gap side, move my ruler, go across, go to my gap, move my ruler, okay, so let me just move this and you can see how that box is filling in, and you would just keep going. So I love all the things you can do with this ruler, lots of grids, lots of piano keys, all those things look so awesome on a quilt. So let me just show you. This is a whole bunch of different piano keys. So you can do them even spaced. So let's see, here they are even spaced. There's a double line with a gap in between. Here's 3 lines together. Then you get to 4 lines. You can do short ones, and since you have this, you can use your circle rulers and add to it as well. So there's so many different things you can do with this grid line ruler. I hope you have fun using it, and use it. You'll get used to it, and you'll really understand that gap and that spacing and think, oh, I can't do this without it.